Good on you, Ocarine.
テスターをやめたいです。
When I started the conversation with that, both Dr. Leskinen and Maho looked shocked. We were meeting in a room at a luxury hotel in the heart of Tokyo. It felt like the sort of secret meeting you'd see in a spy movie. Or maybe it only felt that way because the old me wasn't completely gone.
いきなりそんなこと。無責任だわ。
Maho seemed to finally understand what I meant, and her anger was clear.
マホ、落ち着けなさい。このテストはむしろリンタロウの善意で成り立ってるんだよ。引き受けてもらえただけでもこちらとしてはありがたかった。ここで辞退しても無責任ということは決してないから大丈夫。
Dr. Leskinen smiled and offered me his hand. I took hold of his giant hand and shook it back, but I looked down, unable to look him in the eye.
すみません。
ただ私としてもできれば続けてもらいたいんだよ。ざっとログを見たがかなり頻繁に話してくれているじゃないか。それに研究室で我々が相手をしていた頃とはクリスの話し方がだいぶ違う。人は社会的な生き物だ。相手と状況によって言動を変える。それを MTS でも再現できていると見ていいだろう。だからこそもうしばらくテストを続けたいんだ。ちなみにやめようと思った理由は何かな。 MTS と話すのが辛くなったかい？
いえ、逆です。
逆？
アマデウスとクリスと話すのはとても楽しいんです。でもそれが怖くて。
And then I desperately tried to explain the feelings that were welling up within me, even though I still didn't understand them myself. I told them how scared I was that I was starting to see Kurisu and Kurisu as the same person.
やはり君に負担をかけてしまったね。本当にすまない。ただ君のその反応はとても興味深い。研究者ではない目線で MTS を捉えているという意味で私も勉強になるよ。こんな言い方や感じ方になってしまうのを許してほしい。何しろ根っからの研究者なものでね。
いえ、こっちもわがまま言っているのは分かっているんです。
Maho hadn't said a word for a while. She was frowning, and she seemed to be intently focused on studying Amadeus's logs. I didn't want her looking at me because it made me feel guilty, but...
わかった。テストの事態については君の望む通りにしよう。ただアクセス権は君のスマートフォンにそのまま残しておいて構わないかな。今後アムデウスと話すのも話さないのも君の自由だ。
Thank goodness. I was worried we'd never be able to talk to Kurisu again.
クリスの方からは君に連絡しないように言っておくから。私たちと君との関係を今日これで終わりにはしたくないんだ。せっかく魔法も寂しがるしね。
教授
That's exactly her face.
わかりました。
It felt like giving in, but at the same time I didn't want to lose my relationship with Dr. Leskinen. My goal of going to Victor Condria University hadn't changed at all. And then Dr. Leskinen got a call on his smartphone.
おっ失礼ちょっと電話してくるよ魔法その間にリンタロウと仲直りしておくようにね
Dr. Leskinen left the room with a mischievous wink. I was alone with Maho.
ごめんなさい。さっきは怒鳴ったりして。
いや、
教授の言う通り、こちらがお願いしている立場なのに。アマデウスは今の私にとっては姉妹。子供みたいなものだから。それを投げ出されたように思えて、つい。
力になれなくてすまない。
あなたの気持ちも分かっているつもりよ。あるいはつもりだったかしら。
Maho sighed again.
自己嫌悪だわ。ダメね。多分前頭前皮質がひねくれてできてるのよ。そうに違いないわ。
は？
Actually, you know what? I bet because I played through this, it's not giving me some of these tips again. Yep, it's not going to give me these tips again. Because I remember prefrontal cortex was one of them. Not that it's, you know, entirely important, but it was something in there. This alphabetizes it. I wonder if that's in there. Whatever. It's okay. I'm sure it's in here somewhere, but you can probably understand most of these things.
前頭前皮質は人格を形成する部位の一つね。情報のフィルタリングを行うこともあるわ。己の中の認めがたい情報を遮断したり、自己欺瞞を行ったり。
よくわからない。
要するにむき出しの情動を隠そうとしてとっさに嘘をついたりするのよ。他人だけじゃなく自分自身にもね。今の私みたいに難しい言葉を並べて自分を取り繕ってやろうとか、こういうことも前頭前皮質がやってるんだと思うわ。
That would apply just as well to the old me, Hoin Kiyoma. When I realized that, there was nothing I could say.
誰でもそういうことってあると思う。
私は特別ひどいのよ。今後も気が向いたらでいいからアマデウスを構ってあげて。ほんの短い時間でもいいの。
考えておくよ。
ありがとう。
Maho flopped back onto the sofa.
なあ、聞いていいか？クリスの母親のこと。
お？
前にパーティーの時、君とレスキネン教授が話しているのが偶然聞こえたんだ。クリスの家に何かあったって。
ああ、あのこと。
Maho seemed to remember it quickly. She nodded.
クリスのお母さんから電話があったの。家に。
大丈夫なのか？
ちょうどその日は留守にしていたから大丈夫だったそうよ。
That was a relief. After all that had happened, I really didn't want Kurisu's mother to have to go through any more.
私、クリスのお母さんには結構可愛がってもらっていたの。休日に家にもよく招待してもらってね。だから心配だわ。変なことに巻き込まれていなければいいのだけど。
変なこと？
I noticed the way she said the phrase. A cold chill ran down my back.
ただの放火じゃないのか？
それが
Maho seemed unsure if she should tell me.
ヒアジョーさん
I urged her to speak. She nodded slightly.
それが最初は地元の警察が捜査していたらしいのだけれど、その後 FBI を名乗る人たちが来たらしくて。
FBI?
ええ、 FBI が出てくるような事件じゃないのによ。それと放火した犯人を隣の住人が目撃していたそうなんだけど、その証言によると犯人はただの放火犯には見えなかったって。
What do your ordinary arsonists look like, by the way? Are we talking like punk kids with lighters and a gas can, or what are we talking about?
というと
複数犯でね、なんだか特殊部隊みたいだったって。ほとんど何も喋らず火をつけたらすぐ近くに止まっていた車に乗り込んで去っていったそうよ。
You know, the ordinary arsonist. We get him around here all the time. Can't stop burning things down.
こんな言い方が正しいかどうかわからないけど、手際がすごく良かったみたい。火の回りも異常なほど早かったらしいわ。
Was she trying to say that it was no ordinary arson, but the work of a professional? I couldn't laugh away the possibility. I knew for a fact that there were people like that in this world.
それとその犯人たちがロシア語を話していたって。
ロシア語
Russian. The first thing that came to my mind, whether I liked it or not, was Nakabachi. Half a year ago, he'd stolen a paper about time travel from Kurisu, his own daughter, and used it to seek asylum in Russia. Could that have something to do with it?
それともう一つ、クリスが亡くなったばかりの頃、私たちの研究室でもおかしなことがあったの。地元警察と一緒に日本の刑事という人が来たのよ。日米の合同捜査でクリスの事件を調べているって。もちろん私たちはできる範囲で協力したんだけれど、何日か経って大学が警察に問い合わせをしたら、そんな刑事が日本から来た事実はないって言われ
Oh
たわ。
man. The plot thickens.
じゃあその日本の刑事は偽物だった。
それだけじゃないの。地元警察も私たちの研究室を捜査した事実はないって。
Oh, I think someone might be trying to clean up some evidence.
つまりね、日本の刑事どころか警察と称してやってきた人たち全員が
偽物。
そのことがあってから私。
Maho shook a little and wrapped her arms around herself.
私クリスの死には何か裏があると疑っているわ。別に陰謀論者ではないけれど、何かもっと別の理由でクリスは殺されて、それが闇に葬られてしまったんじゃないかと、そう考えているのよ。
I was the one who killed Kurisu. The police never found out. They never would, probably. No one could prove a murder that had been committed by a time traveler. The police had announced that a foreign thief had snuck into the storeroom at the radio building, and Kurisu had been killed because she saw him. Supposedly there was an international warrant out for the thief's arrest because he already left the country. Do we have any description of the thief at all? He's in a lab coat. And when I killed Kurisu, there was one other person there, Dr. Nakabachi. It was eerie that his name hadn't come up at all. Russia, CERN, the time machine. I remembered the future that Suzuha, or perhaps I should say John Titor, had spoken of. She said World War III was going to start within a decade. And it would be the time machine that set it off. The EU and Russia would be in a race to develop it, and then even America would intervene. That would be the spark. Were we, at the center of a chain of events that would result in the deaths of 5 billion people? I couldn't help but feel that way.
このままじゃクリスは浮かばれないわ。真実を知りたい。
真実？
I couldn't stop myself from shaking as I looked at Maho's face.
真実を知りたいって。
That was dangerous. If she tried to learn the truth, there could be no doubt that she'd put herself in danger. Black Square returns. The Rounders who came crashing through the veil of night. My childhood friend, who died in my arms after being shot in the head. And after that, the nightmarish and seemingly endless time loops. All of the horrors that I'd experienced in the Alpha World line came flooding back, and I fought to stifle a moan.
でもそれは警察に任せておいた方がいい。
そうかしら。
少なくとも自分でどうにかできるなんて思わないことだ。人間一人の力なんてあまりにちっぽけなものだから。
After I said that, I regretted it. But it was too late. Maho's gaze had turned into a piercing glare.
あなた、もしかして何か知っているの？
My panic was about to show. I quickly covered my face with my hands.
そんなはずないだろう。
Your murderer side is showing.
そう。変なこと言って悪かったわ。私、クリスのことになるとついムキになってしまうの。
あいつは本当にいいやつだったし、本当にすごいやつだった。俺も好きだったよ。
ええ。あなたのことを見ていればわかるわ。
A heavy silence filled the air between us. I felt like I had to say something, but fortunately Dr. Leskinen came back just then.
二人ともよかったらこれから食事でもどうかな？
Maho and I nodded and stood up from the sofa.
岡部さん、またこちらでのクリスの話を聞かせてくれる？
ああ、いつでも。
I was just barely able to smile back at Maho. I saw a dark blue van come around the corner of the underground parking lot. Its tires squealed a little. It wasn't a Japanese car. It was a station wagon that looked like a sports car from some foreign manufacturer. I didn't know a lot about cars, but supposedly if you purchased it from a dealer, it could easily go for over 8 million yen. The reason I knew all this was because the car's owner had told me over and over. Kind of looks like a Ford. The station wagon stopped in front of us, and there was a short bark from the horn. Associate Professor Izaki came out from the driver's side. While I was eating with Dr. Leskinen and Maho, he called me about something else. When I told him I was having dinner with the two of them, he'd offered to drive us home. Dr. Leskinen had tried to refuse, but Izaki had insisted so much that he had no choice but to accept. He had a pretty nice car for an associate professor. This was the cause of a lot of speculation around the college. Some people said his family was rich, and others said that he had a wife of some CEO as a patron. He once quietly told me the truth, that he was single and spent all his money on his car. But who even knew if that was true? Izaki was acting like he was a professional chauffeur, opening the rear door and escorting Dr. Leskinen and Maho. Dr. Leskinen thanked him and got inside. Maho went around to the back to load up her luggage.
Okabe か。ちゃっかりレスキネン教授に気に入られてるなんて、なかなか抜け目ないな、この。
He grinned and poked me with his elbow.
この子には手放しちゃいけないぜ。君の将来のためにね。
はあ。
He was a hard guy to hate, but for an associate professor, he seemed kind of shallow. It was one of the unfortunate things about him. He waved to me and opened the driver's side door. What was that sound? About the same time I heard the strange sound, a hole appeared in the window on the front passenger side. Izaki screamed and fell back on his butt. The rear window exploded. I panicked. Was this some kind of supernatural phenomenon? I was too confused to move. And then in the corner of my vision I saw someone. A man I didn't know appeared out of the shadow of one of the pillars. He was holding something strange in his hand. It looked kind of like a handgun. It might just be a handgun. It was tiny with a short barrel and kind of flat. I couldn't see any kind of silencer. I remembered him from somewhere. I felt like we'd met before. Where? I thought, but nothing came to me immediately. The man was standing there, mumbling something to himself.
つまずきを与えるこの世は忌まわしい。もちろんつまずきが起きることは避けられないが、つまずきをもたらすものこそが忌まわしいのだ。もしお前の手か足の一つがお前をつまずかせるなら、それを切って捨てるがいい。両手両足揃っていて永遠の火に投げ入れられるよりも、それはお前にとって間違いなく幸せなのだから。
Mr. Assailant over here is getting biblical.
また、もしお前の片方の目がお前をつまずかせるなら、それをえぐり出して捨ててしまうがいい。たとえ片目であろうとも、陰の無の谷の炎に投げ入れられるよりずっと幸いに違いないのだ。
I do remember there was a tip about the Valley of Hinnom. It basically more or less equates to hell, with that being the idea, and it had some name changes. There was an aura of intensity and madness about the man as he pointed his gun at us again. Why is gun in quotes?
神の子である我々にこそ宿る。決してシリコンの上には宿らない。
As far as I can tell, it seems very gun-like. It looks like a gun. It shoots things like a gun. It makes bullet holes like a gun. It might be a gun. I don't know. Izaki stood up, turned around, and fled in terror like a startled rabbit. That sound again. It was so soft and light. I couldn't even imagine that it was a gunshot. But this time, the car's windows didn't break. And it didn't blow a hole in me either. It missed? Or maybe he was focusing on Izaki. Was he too focused on Izaki? Hold on a second. Yes, look at her face. I didn't even notice this last time. I only noticed it while I was editing last time's video, which makes me especially mad because I don't know where that video went, even though I do distinctly remember editing it. Let's see, did I skip some text? I think I accidentally skipped some text right there while I had that circle. While I press circle to get rid of the text, can I see the log? It missed. Was you too focused on Izaki? Oh, you won't be that lucky again. Move. I pushed Maho into the back seat and crawled into the driver's side. Thankfully, the engine was still running. I slammed down on the pedal without even bothering to shut the door. The sound of a powerful engine shook the underground air. The attacker flinched at the incredible noise and vibration. But the car didn't move forward. It didn't move an inch.
Shift!
Dr. Leskin and Maho were keeping their heads low in the back seat, shouting loud enough to be heard over the engine. I took my foot off the accelerator. I glanced over at the gear shift. It was stuck next to the end. Of course, conveniently not. And then, through the windshield, I saw the attacker ready his gun again. He was aiming at me. The look in his eyes told me he was ready to kill without hesitation. I think he's mad about the whole Amadeus thing. Crap. Cracks like a spiderweb appeared on the windshield. Something went past the side of my head. I felt a sharp pain, and at the same time, a ringing in my ears. And all the other sounds faded away and started to disappear. I felt myself passing out. And then Maho jumped over the seat and slid into the passenger side. My mind was pulled back to reality. I slammed the door shut just as she told me. Maho shifted from neutral to drive and leaned over on top of me to grab the wheel. I slammed the accelerator so hard that for a moment the wheels were almost spinning in place. Then the car leapt forward. The attacker was getting closer. We were going to hit him. I was about to take my foot off the accelerator when Maho shouted. I gritted my teeth and did as she said. Oh boy, bringing back those murderer tendencies. But there was no impact. Evidently, the attacker had leapt away at the last second to avoid being crushed. But there was no time to confirm it, as the car raced through the parking garage. We were going too fast, and since Maho was controlling the car from the passenger seat, she couldn't keep it going in a straight line. The car spun to the left and right, and I was almost flung out of the broken window. I grabbed onto the edge of the seat as hard as I could. We headed for the exit, slamming into walls and pillars as we went. I could see an exit sign right in front of us. I pressed the brake and put my hand on top of Maho's, turning the wheel to the right. But that was the wrong thing to do. The rear tires slipped. The car spun in a circle. And then it came to a stop. I looked back and saw Dr. Leskinen lying face up on the seat, giving me a thumbs up sign. I quickly put my hand on the door and got ready to get out of the driver's seat. But then I saw an old, creaky sedan rumbling towards us and shivered. It was the man from a moment ago. He was following us, and moving really fast.
森野突っ込んでくるぞ。
こっちのドア開かない。
Had it broken when we slammed into the wall? I grabbed Maho out of the passenger seat and rolled outside. Dr. Leskinen rolled out of the rear door. It was less than a second afterwards that the sedan hit. If we'd been even just a little too slow, we would have been turned into mincemeat. Gotta get that blood pumping, Okabe. Just like old times. I stood up and offered Maho a hand, then moved away from the unrecognizable wreck that used to be a car.
大丈夫か。
ありがとう。
Ugh. It's still a little grisly. Both cars were smashed together. The attacker's sedan was completely embedded in the rear half of the car we'd been driving. There's no way he could have survived. There were no tire marks on the ground, which meant he'd slammed into us without braking. I shivered. I'd almost been killed.
とにかく警察に連絡。
I was about to pull out my smartphone when the security guards heard the commotion and came running.
すみません。警察を呼んでください。
The security guard nodded and contacted the police. I could feel a pulsing ache on the side of my head. A shot from the gun had grazed me. I hadn't felt that pain at all while I was driving. I fearfully reached up to touch it and felt blood flowing from my temple down my face. I gulped when I saw that my fingertips had turned bright red. I almost saw my Yuri when she was shot in the head. I almost saw Kurisu when I killed her. The images felt like they were about to come flashing back to me, and I struggled to stay standing.
あなた血だらけじゃない。弾が当たったの。
Maho went pale.
ここってまずい場所だったりするのか。
そこには線側頭動脈っていうのがあって。
Now that was, I do remember that was a tip, and they basically talked about how it was an artery that fed blood to a lot of places, which to my understanding, arteries are not a good place to get shot.
見せてごらん。少し触るよ。
Dr. Leskinen looked at the wound. When he touched me, I felt more pain, but I gritted my teeth to endure it.
大丈夫。傷はそんなに深くない。
よかった。
これをお使いなさい。
すみません。
I put the handkerchief he offered me up to my temple.
襲ってきた人、セミナーにいた人だわ。
本当か？
覚えてない？あなたが異議を出した相手よ。
That's right. It sounded like he was insulting Kurisu, so I shouted objection at him. That was the guy. Was this his way of getting back at me? Not a chance.
神の与えし魂とは神の子である我々にこそ宿る。決してシリコンの上には宿らない。
何？
銃を撃つ前に言ってたんだ。
アマデウスのことかしら。
さあ。
I could faintly hear police car sirens in the distance. The hotel security guards and staff were starting to gather.
なあ、この状況どう説明したらいい？
Oh yeah, another thing I remember I originally said was that Okabe does a tremendous job of yelling at people while they're like in some sort of conference, and then them getting mad later and trying to kill him.
ありのまま言うしかないわ。私たちだって何が何だか。
And then Maho's eyes went wide. She, Dr. Leskinen, and the crowd were all staring at a single point. I looked too, and almost screamed. Oh, good. Mr. Assailant, you're alive.
もたらすものが忌まわしい。
The man crawled out from the wreckage of the sedan, covered in blood. And then he staggered to his feet. He looked like a zombie. All his limbs, except the one holding the gun, were pointed off in impossible directions, and I could see what looked like bones sticking out from them. His stomach was torn open, and each time he crawled, I could see major organs covered in blood falling out of the hole. Ugh. But he moved towards us as if he felt no pain at all. It was such an awful sight that no one could speak. Are we gonna do something? The man unsteadily aimed the gun towards Dr. Leskinen. He must have been on the verge of death because his arm was flailing around too much to aim. But Dr. Leskinen's expression was pure terror. Look at that face. Pure terror, and he seemed unable to move.
もっとく魂
A shot rang out. Fresh blood flew out of the man's head, and his body was blown away as if it had been hit by a truck. He fell to the ground, still clutching his gun. He tried to crawl forward anyway, but soon twitched and stopped moving. The crowd began to scream. The attacker had been shot? Did he shoot himself? No. That gunshot was clearly different than the last ones. Who had just fired? I looked around. I could see several policemen coming from the entrance, but none of them had their guns drawn. And the crowd was nothing but security and hotel staff. I couldn't see any of them carrying a gun. So who had fired? And where had they fired from? And the way they took the attacker's head off with a single shot. Not just anyone could do that.
何が起きてるんだよ。
Of course, no one told me. Afterwards, the police took us into custody. We were taken to the police station and questioned until late into the night. The sun was almost about to rise by the time we left. Police took me home in a patrol car. Dr. Leskinen and Maho were having the police take them back to their hotel in Wako, so we split up in front of the police station. We never did find out why the man had attacked us. I wonder who attacked the man. Hint, hint, probably. This is where I stopped last time, so I actually don't know if it was her, but I can only imagine it was. I did think about this while I was editing the video last time, which I'm still not sure quite where it went. I feel like I edited it, but I'd never actually rendered it out, which is really aggravating, because that means I did pretty much everything, except for the very last step. So I have to do it all over again, because I lost, that video. I'm kind of wondering what happened to Professor Izaki, because it almost seems like, it seems very likely that he maybe had something to do with this. You know, he kept offering to give us a ride. He was very insistent. I wonder if he had something to do with this, you know, and it was just part of his ploy. You know, and what happened to him? Did he get shot and die? It sounded like he probably did, but we didn't mention anything after, you know, he was running away and was, presumably being shot at. I don't know. Maybe we'll learn more about that later, maybe it doesn't matter. Oh, also as a last point, I think those are supposed to be 2 separate episodes that I was supposed to have right there, which is probably why this is really long, but since I already talked about it, I'm going to keep it as 1 episode. So, enjoy. Thanks for watching. Bye!